this 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, and that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants.
People will literally be part of a network. All the bodies, all the brains would be connected together to a network, and you won't be able to survive if you're disconnected from the net.
With AI taking over many of the unskilled and possibly some of the skilled activities, then there will be people for whom seems to be society. It won't have much use for these people.
We need to accept that there will be some pain in the process.
I think we're going to have to think about a recalibration of a whole range of human rights that are playing out online.
Individual carbon footprint tracker.
Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
That's a hostile corporate takeover of your body and a digital surveillance censorship dictatorship.
President Eisenhower tried to warn us about this years ago. The hostile takeover of a scientific,
technological elite.
They provide much more powerful intelligence for decision making.
Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? You will rule upon that.
The next phase is the surveillance going under our skin.
Now that we've cracked the code of life, it will not take much longer before we can start to play God.
The new powers that we are gaining now, especially the powers of biotechnology and artificial intelligence, are really going to transform us into gods.
It's a total, complete AI takeover of every facet of human life, like Harari and others have been saying.
Given all the technological developments, it might be feasible, even easy, to support people, even if they don't work, to give them a universal basic income, to give them enough food, enough medicine, and so forth. The big question is meaning. What will they do all day? And one of the answers is that they will just play computer games all day, virtual reality games. They will spend more and more time playing virtual reality games that will give them much more excitement and emotional engagement than anything in the real world outside.
Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahshai, Ba'Shem Ruach Kodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the video we just watched and how it relates to the scriptures. In the scripture that I read before the video, you may have caught this part here where it says that the wicked that is being talked about here, that he sitteth in the temple of God. Now, what is the temple of God? Right? Well, if you read the Bible and you watch these videos, you understand that your body is the temple of God, right? If you are a Negro, Latino, Native American, or anybody whose father's lineage goes back to that bloodline, you are an Israelite. And that means that your body is the temple of God, okay? The Lord has chosen us to be his special people, okay? And these devils that are in power today, right, which if you watch the video, let's go back real quick. And again, you just watch these people. Who are these people, right? What race of people are these people, right? They're not Japanese. they're not Persian, they're not Egyptian, right? These are Caucasians. Okay, these are white people. And the white people, though they've tried their hardest to run from their, biblical identity and just who they are, so much so that they have that moniker today that they have no culture, right? That they're culture vultures. And why is that? Well, because every few generations, they always try to reinvent themselves. They take over new lands and they then become the people of that land. They did that to the Greeks. They did that to the Romans. They did that to the English, right, or the Britons, right? They did it to the American Indians. They did it to the Germans, and so on, right? These people are fugitives upon the earth, right? When I mean fugitives, it goes all the way back to the curse upon Cain, right? That he would be a fugitive and a vagabond upon the earth, okay? Because fugitives are always running from from justice, okay? They're always hiding their identity, right? And that's who these Caucasians are. They are the biblical Edomites who are running from their ancient identity. And why is that? Well, because of what the scriptures say, right? Because scripture makes it very plain what these people would be doing in the end times. Now, at the time when this was written and throughout, history, it was very hard to pinpoint who this was talking about. But now that we are living in the last days of the last days, it is very plain to see who is running the world, who is leading the nations, who is pushing forward these agendas to try to, get into your body, right? To control your soul, right? And who exalteth themselves as God. What did that devil Noah Harari say, right? That they will be like gods, right? With this AI technology, with these advancements that they're going to make, it's going to make them like literal gods. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And this is actually what's happening right now. It is being revealed who the wicked are, okay? It is very plain to see who is pushing this agenda, which the whole world is being subjugated to right now, okay? It is the Edomite race. And the thing is that they are being consumed right now. And how are they being consumed? By videos like this one right here. By videos I make and the brothers and the apostles first and foremost make, revealing who these Edomites are, right? It wasn't until the apostles started, teaching this truth back in 2007 online that this truth became broader known, right? And the term Edomite started to become a commonplace biblical function, even though there's been Christian and Catholic churches for hundreds of years that should have been teaching the story of who Esau and the Edomites were, right? But what happened? They fell to Satan's will, and they decided to keep the truth from the world, right? And this is why now the Lord has raised up his people, his prophets, to go out and teach the truth and bring out these key terms, to bring out the proper understanding of the Bible, right? And why is that? Well, because we are now at the end. We are in the time that wicked shall be revealed, okay? And not only is that happening, but these Edomites are being consumed by the spirit of the Lord's mouth, and that's by brothers like me, the apostles out there, teaching who the Edomites are, what the truth of the Bible is, right? We're basically consuming these people with the truth, right? And they can't do anything about it. They send out, pitiful contenders, people like Vocab Malone, or your everyday Christian tries to come up, and they get confounded, revealing that they know nothing about the Bible, that all they know is Christianity, man-made doctrine, and dogmas which are all false compared to the truth, right? What does the Lord say? That he shall give us a mouth that our adversaries cannot gainsay? And that's exactly what happens, man. This is why whenever any religious, lost in the sauce, person comes up to one of these camps, they always basically walk away with their tails tucked between their legs, man. Or they go out, if the Lord's on their side, they go away with a better understanding and knowing that they don't know shit. Okay, it's plain to see. And what is this video ultimately talking about, man? Well, it's talking about this right here, because again, this is the whole crux of the matter. Okay, we are down to the two biggest last prophecies. One of the MOTB, which is regarding this, and the World War III, which will break out. Okay, and then after that, then the Messiah shall show up. But let's read this. This is Revelations 13-16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. That's 666. Okay? And what did Noah Harari say? Right? Let's see if I can get that piece. Where he said, if you don't have this, you're basically going to be cut out of society. Right here, look. Let's listen to what he said.
And you won't be able to survive if you're disconnected from the net.
With AI.
You see that? So out of the proverbial horse's mouth, right? So when you have, idiots out there that are trying to teach this truth, man, saying that the mark of the beast is Christianity, the mark of the beast is, white Jesus, or sleeping with white women, or an embargo. No, man, you can't sell or you can't buy or sell with any of that. Okay? And it's plain, man. All these lies that are being told by these other camps, it's very plain that they have sold out, that they don't know what they're talking about, man. And that's why right now you're seeing a bunch of backpedaling going on with these other camps. They're trying to come up with all these different type of explanations of what the MOTB is, or you'll hear about them say, well, we can't really tell, or they'll say all these different type of excuses. You see, but that's what happens when you're telling lies. You got to come up with excuses. When you're telling the truth, it basically wins out everything, right? So you don't have to be, pussyfooting around a lie or around a subject when you're out there telling the truth. And what is that truth? That the MOTB that the Bible is talking about here in Revelation 13-16 is this RFID implantable chips that these devils were talking about in this video. And what's going to happen to these people that eventually do cave in and do take this mark, right? Well, it tells right here, Revelation 16:2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. You see, so the people who eventually will take this mark, that will fall to their knees to bow to Baal and Moloch and basically Nimrod and these devils, right? By taking that Luciferian initiation, right? Those people are going to eventually suffer, right? They ain't gonna just die right away. No, there is gonna be a noisome and grievous sore upon them, right? And why is that? Well, because that RFID chip is not good for you, right? The apostles made it very clear. They brought out research and studies showing that those RFID chips cause cancer. Okay, just because of having a foreign object in your body that transmits or receives, wireless signals, it's bound to destroy your DNA around which it's implanted, right? Causing cancerous cells because your cells cannot replicate, properly around it. So it makes sense that upon those people who are naive enough to not consider the ramifications of taking that, what would happen to them, right? That a noisome and grievous sore would fall upon them. But again, you know, I'm not shocked, because look what happened with that snake bite. Look how many people, even today, you know, are still willing to get it, regardless that they had some side effects. Man, I watched this idiot lady who had Bell's palsy, right? She made a video to document what she had, but she said she would still get the snake bite, right? Because it was the right thing to do. You see how naive people are, man? They're basically cutting off their nose to spite their face, you know? But this is the world that we live in a society of proud people that can't admit that they're wrong. But this ultimately is what's gonna fall upon those people, right? Regardless if they don't, you know, mind the noisome and grievous, you know, sores upon them. This is what's gonna be their eventual end game. This is Revelations 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of his torment ascendeth forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Yahweh Shai. So you see that, Akim? We're coming to that time where, you know, you're seeing it. You're seeing these laws being passed. You're seeing all these advertisements, you know, talking about getting, you know, having a implantable device to secure your digital payments. You know, we're coming to that time. And so what we got to do is we got to stand fast, and we got to have that patience, man. We got to have that patience spoken about here, right? Because again, we have to wait patiently until this comes, and we got to resist it when it's here, right? But hey, the more we talk about this, the more, you know, we understand what we must not do, what we have to stand up against, and hence we also now, you know, by making videos like this, we're telling you what to be on the lookout for, right? But again, unlike other Israelite camps out there that aren't even warning their people, man, those people are gonna, you know, have a heavy judgment upon them, because they basically led their sheep that were entrusted to them to the slaughter. But again, hey, it's all the Lord's will. So if you're watching this video, you know, and for Lord, you know, opening my eyes to this truth that to me is plain as day, right? But again, to the wicked, I'm sure it's a stumbling block, as it says in the scripture. So hopefully this video was edifying. Until the next time, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakok, Radash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders, great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.